Hey, what's up? I am here to do a reading for the sign of Aries for the time of all of these crazy retrogrades. Anybody who resonates with this reading or the sign of Aries, whatever, take it how it applies. So, the first thing that I'm feeling is that you are going through an identity shift. And I say that because the bottom of the deck energy is the Emperor, which is your card, Aries. Oh shit. And then there's the Tower underneath it. So there you go. So this is about coming back into your power and coming back in to the truth of who you are. But before you can do that, we have to take stock of where we're at. Where we're at and where we've been and where we want to go. Who we want to become and what we want to create. And I think right now, you are really being asked to hit the pause button and to take it easy. And to be in your yin more than your yang, your feminine more than your masculine energy. You're being, you're allowing, and you're receiving more than you're doing. And I know that's hard because I'm an Aries too, so I get it. I think that there's something, the first cards you have are the Six of Wands and the Three of Swords. And I feel like what you want, that there's some kind of pain, some kind of heartache, some kind of loss that you have experienced or are experiencing, and you're ready to be, like, you're just ready to be over it. You're ready to be over it. You're ready to be past it. And it's not working. I feel like you're trying to push past it. You're trying to move through it. And unfortunately, the reality is that we cannot rush our healing. We just can't do it, you know? It does require some effort from us, right? So maybe you go to therapy, or maybe you do some Reiki, or maybe you get a healing, or maybe you write about it or talk about it, or whatever it is that you do, you know, to heal. Maybe you've done that and maybe it's still there. And it's like a splinter, right? It's like you're going about your day to day and it's like you just don't feel right. It's like something's off, like just this minor irritation, you know? And it's so frustrating because this energy is really disempowering for an Aries, you know? Like trying to make something happen and not being able to do it. And then there's another piece too where it's like, it's one thing to say, let it go. Just let it go. Just move on. And it's a completely different thing to do that. Like every time somebody says that to me, I'm like, cool. I'll just go over here in my spot. And I'll just do what you just said. And that's bullshit. Because you can't just let go. You can't just move on just because somebody's telling you to, right? So there's a degree to which you can do the work. And then there's a degree that you have to let spirit do the rest. And I say that because to clarify here, we've got the Knight of Pentacles, the Three of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Four of Swords. And I think what you need to do right now is just be in it. You need to just stop, slow down, and you just need to allow whatever this is, whatever this healing is, to happen. For some of you, this has to do with where you thought you'd be by now, who you thought you'd be by now, who you thought you'd be with. For some of you, this has to do with like mother energy. So this could either be your mother, this could be you as a mother, your identity as a mother, you know? For some of you, maybe you want to be a mother. You've been trying to be a mother and it's not working. And you're really struggling with that. And for others, you know, this is about what you've created. What you've created up until this point. And taking stock and saying, is this what I want? You know, is this what I want? Does this make me feel good? Does this make me feel whole? Do I feel like I can be my truest self? What are the lessons? What are the lessons that I've learned? How have I changed? How have I grown? What have I accomplished? What worked? What didn't work? For some of you, I mean, like this is like mother energy, right? And to clarify, we got the Hermit. So for some of you, you really just need some alone time. Like you really just need some space from your kids. And I know it's hard right now with all the stuff that's going on. For others of you, there's like a frustration or like maybe guilt because you have obligations as a mother, or you have these obligations, right, where you're expected to show up and to be in this nurturing maternal role, and what you want is to have some time by yourself. And maybe that's what you're needing to do here. But I think overall, what we're really being asked is to look at where we've been up until this point, but to look at it in a big picture way, right? I think that some of you are fixated on a particular issue. Some of you are fixated on one thing. On one thing that didn't work out, that you put a lot of stock in. A lot of yourself into. And what you're being asked to do is see the bigger picture in all of this. And maybe it's like these are two different energies of the past, right? Like this is kind of nostalgia, like remembering like the happy aspects, and this is obviously like the stuff that sucked. But both of them are, you need both, right? You need both the dark and the light. You need both to learn the lesson from the experience. And maybe you're looking at one more than the other, but in order to get the big picture, you need both. And I feel like somehow this has become a part of you, whatever this is, you're like identifying yourself. I mean, because everything that you've experienced is a part of you, right? But there's something about this that you're identifying yourself. It has to do with your identity. Like I said, like you as a mother or you as a child of your mother. There's something about the story that you're telling about this situation that you need to really look at. That needs to shift. I'm feeling it needs to shift. The way you're seeing the situation needs to shift. And that's why you need to take this space. That's why you need to allow a space. And I know that this is not the most comfortable energy to be in. But the next card we have is Death. And I love this card because it's death and rebirth, right? So this is transition. This is something about this experience or situation or something about yourself that's changing. And this is not really within your control. It's just part of life, right? It's much bigger than you. But in order for something new to begin, in order for you to get from where you're at to where you're going, you have to be in this space. You have to stay in this space, right? But know that you're not going to be there forever. Right? In the Three of Wands, he sees his ship coming in. He knows it's out there. But before you can do that, before you can get on the boat, right? The boat's not there. He's not getting on the boat. He's waiting for the boat. And it's like, keep sight of that. You know? And I feel like something within this experience, within this processing of whatever the situation is changing. It's changing where you think you're going. It's changing it because I feel like right now, part of this process of looking at of taking your inventory, you're taking inventory of what's worked out and what hasn't. What is the path that I'm on? And is that still where I need to go? And you really need to go within and connect to yourself so that you can better discern your yeses from your nos and whether or not a person, a place, an opportunity, an experience is in alignment with who you are now versus who you were before. Versus the story that you're telling yourself, because you're not the same person that you believe yourself to be. And I say that because we actually had two cards come out, but I'll get to this one in a second. The Eight of Swords. And I love this because in this card, she's like not really looking in the mirror. She thinks that she knows what's there. She thinks that she knows what her situation is. Right? And she sees this. She sees that she's stuck. She sees that she's trapped, but she's not. It's totally in her head. It's totally in her head. The story that she is telling herself about her identity, about who she is, and what she's able and not able to do is wrong. It's not true. And that is what's transforming, I think. Right? It's like she's telling herself that this isn't possible, that she will never have this. The 10 of Cups. Fulfillment. Emotional fulfillment. And it's like being in this energy where there's this constant nagging thing is making you think that you will never have this. You'll never let it go. You'll never get past it. You'll never have what's in your heart. And it's not true. It's not true. It's an illusion. This is your ego. This is your ego getting stuck because it's not coming quick enough. It's not coming the way you want it to. Or it requires you to do something you're not willing to do, like be in the pain. Feel the pain. To fully feel, maybe this is something that you think you've already healed from. And apparently you haven't. There's something else there. But in order to really get clear about it, you have to slow down. You have to create space for the truth to come to you about what it is that's still there. Like the crumbs at the bottom of a bag of chips kind of thing. Like maybe you did a lot of the work, but maybe there's still something there that's holding you back. And if you're creating from this energy, you're going to keep manifesting and bringing in opportunities that don't align with you, that don't fulfill you, that don't bring you whatever it is that you're looking for, right? It's like there's always something lacking, and it's because you're manifesting from a place that's not authentic. I do not believe that you have to be fully healed. I think we're always going to have healing to do. But there's something about the story that you're telling yourself, either just about yourself or about the situation, that's really, really throwing you off. It's like you're defining yourself by this, or you're somehow limiting or inhibiting what you think you can have because of this energy. And this is what needs to change. This is what needs to change. And I think part of this, looking back on the past, right? Part of this is like, don't just focus on this, right? I mean, you have to look at that. You have to look at that pain. But you also have to look at what you've accomplished, right? You also have to look at what you've done well, what you've done right, what worked out, Think about the times in your life that you thought nothing would ever work out, and then Spirit pulled out some amazing, miracle, right? It's okay to allow and to process painful emotions, but you don't have to get stuck there, right? You don't have to get stuck there. You have to let them flow through you. You have to let them flow through you so that they can be released. That's why crying is so helpful. I have never not felt better after crying, even just a little bit. But it's really hard for me to get to the point where I can cry. It's not something that I can just do. It's not something that I can sit and say, okay, I'm going to heal this. I'm ready, Spirit. It's like I rarely heal on my own agenda. We'll just say that. But right now you're being asked to make space. To make space for your healing. So that after this is over, you can come back into your power. You can come back into your power, your wholeness, the truth of who you are. And I feel like, you know, there's so much like mental energy here. Like you are in such conflict with yourself. You're in such conflict with yourself. It's weird. It looks like there's blood there. I've never noticed that before. But it's like, I'm here, you have to get out of your head. Like, get the fuck out of your head. Get out of your head and into your body. Like, maybe you need to go for a run. Do some yoga. Take a hike. Go swimming. You need to get out of your head. However it is that you do that. However it is that you do that, you need to get out of here. And you need to remember that the thoughts that you feed are the thoughts that you create. Right? And it's really easy, especially right now in what's going on with the world, to think that everything is pointless and worth it and everything is terrible and blah, 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 blah. But you have to hold on to this energy, this hope, this faith, this knowing that this will not be permanent, that this transition that you're in, this transformation that you're in, it will not last forever. And then we have the King of Pentacles and the Chariot, right? And it's like you have to stay focused on what you can do. Stay focused on what you can do right, on what you can do well, on what you want after you go through this, right? Have a clear understanding about what you want to create and know that you have the ability, the confidence, the drive, the motivation to make that happen. And the Chariot it's basically what I just said. You know, it's like, stay in this energy, not this energy. Like, especially when we're looking, you know, and this is kind of too about what I said earlier, like the dark and the light, right? There's two sides. And it's not about staying in the light all the time, but integrating the darkness and allowing both parts to exist within us without judgment, and allowing that to bring balance, right? But it's like, I feel with this, you really have to remember that this shit is your ego. This is the story that you're telling yourself, and it's bullshit. And like, I feel that, like, see this little crow? He's like reminding you. You're stuck, you're trapped, you can't do this. You can't do this. You won't do this. And the King of Pentacles and the Chariot are here to say, the fuck with that. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Right? But I feel like you need to allow whatever this is to happen first. You need to allow this healing to happen first. And you know, and with this, you have to get clear. Like, say you're looking at a job, right? Silly example. Say you're looking at a job and it's like you're not happy in your job. It's like, it's fine, it pays your bills, it's not really what you want, But instead of like just going to get another job, right? Look at what you like about your job, this job, past jobs, and look at what you don't like about it. Same with the past jobs. What do you like about it? What did you not like about it? What would you rather have? And then manifest from that space. Manifest from that space. You know, if it's in a relationship, for some of you, this is like a family issue. It's like a family issue. For some of you, this is like, there's a lot of Virgo here. I look at the Empress as Virgo too, could be Taurus. And the Hermit is Virgo also. It's like two sides of a Virgo. For some of you, it's about your mom who's a Virgo. Maybe you have Virgo in your chart. King of Pentacles, Taurus, Libra, or Taurus, Libra, I don't know why I said that. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Yeah. All right, let me pull an advice card for you. Oh shit, I got them the wrong way. Let me pull an advice card for you. What does Aries need to know about the situation? Ooh. Come together. Come together. Honestly, I feel like this is really about integrating these different aspects of you. You know, like the dark and the light, but then we've also got the Emperor, the Empress. For others of you, this is like about a relationship. You know, maybe this relationship is not moving as quickly as you would want it. Maybe it's not coming together as quickly as you would want it. Or maybe there's something in the past. You know, if this is someone from your past, which it could be with the Six of Cups. If this is someone from your past, it's someone that you thought you were going to have everything with. And maybe that didn't work out. And whether it's this person or somebody new, it's like you're still hanging on to that. Right? You're still hanging on to that. And this is saying with death, like this has to transform. Like you have to look at this differently. Right? And I feel like you're really struggling with that. It's like you want, if this is someone from the past, you're like, I feel different, I'm different, they're different, I want this. But at the same time, I'm still carrying this energy with me. And I don't know how to let that go. And if this is someone new, you know, same thing. Like you're like, I'm all about this. I'm into this. But I'm still carrying the shit from the past. And you gotta let that go. Come together. That's beautiful. Not what I expected there. Let's get one more. So just as a side note, this is like the 1,000th time I've tried to do this reading, so it's interesting. Interesting the way it turned out. What does Aries need to know? Retrograde season. does Aries need to know? Traveler. Can you see it? Move in a new direction. That's nice. Yeah. Tell a new story, man. It's your story. You get to tell it however you want. I think this is an opportunity for you to rewrite it, you know? If you say in your story, I will never have this, this, and this. I will never have true love. We will never come together. I will never have X, Y, and Z. You will never have that. Start looking at why you tell yourself that. Where does that story come from? And go from there. All right, guys, I hope this was helpful. Bye.